Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Bibliophila, where I discuss books that inspire us, enrich our minds and broaden our mental horizon. Let's begin today's episode with a review of yet another book. Today, I'll be talking about a book, Dracula by Bram Stoker. This book is a gothic novel first published in 1897, was the most popular literary work concerning vampire legends and was the pioneer of an entire genre of literary fiction. Before writing Dracula, Bram Stoker spent years researching European folklore and stories about vampires. The reputation for cruelty of the Romanian ruler Wallachia Vlad III Dracula 1456 to 1462, which Stoker first learnt about in 1881, inspired the name of Count Dracula. Vlad III was said to have dined among the dying body of his victims and dipped his bread in their blood. He is also said to have driven wooden stakes through the hearts of his enemies. Dracula was not an immediate success but gradually gained popularity over the 20th century when it was adapted into films and plays. The novel talks about Dracula the vampire and his attempt to move from Transylvania to England in order to find new blood and spread the undead curse. The book also talks about the battle between a small group of people led by Professor Abraham Van Helsing and Dracula the vampire. The novel is an epistolary novel consisting of journals, diary entries, newspaper articles and letters. The novel unfolds chronologically, mainly set in Transylvania and England, dated 3rd May to 6 November. A vampire is originally a character in European folklore, which is a corpse risen from its grave at night, since sunlight weakens its powers to drink the blood of the living by biting into their neck with long pointed canine teeth. A vampire is a predatory species having supernatural strength and agility in addition to immortality. They can only be killed if a wooden stake is driven through their hearts. The idea of vampire is mainly an articulation of the fear of darkness in man's subconscious mind. The characteristics of vampires have evolved over time, making them more modern and human-like. The novel begins with the journal of Jonathan Harker, a young English lawyer, as he travels to the Carpathian Mountains in Transylvania. Harker plans to meet Count Dracula, a client of his firm, to finalize a property transaction. As Harker discloses his destination, the locals react with fear. As Harker passes through the mesmerizing countryside, the villagers warn him about his destination and gives him crucifixes against the evil, uttering strange words which Harker translates to vampire. Just before I was leaving, the old lady came up to my room and said in a hysterical way, "Must you go, oh young hare, must you go?" She was in such an excited state that she seemed to have lost her grip of what German she knew and mixed it all up with some other language which I did not know at all. I was just able to follow her by asking many questions. When I told her that I must go at once and that I was engaged on important business, she asked again, "Do you know what day it is?" I answered that it was the 4th of May. She shook her head again as she said again, "Oh yes, I know that, but do you know what day it is?" On my saying that I did not understand, she went on, "It is the eve of St. George's Day. Do you know that tonight, when the clock strikes midnight, all the evil things in the world will have full sway? Do you know where you are going and what you are going to?" She was in such evident distress that I tried to comfort her, but without effect. Finally, she went down on her knees and implored me not to go, at least to wait a day or two before starting. It was all very ridiculous, but I did not feel comfortable. However, there was business to be done and I could not allow anything to interfere with it. Frightened but no less determined, Harker meets the Count's carriage as planned. The journey to the castle was blood-curdling and their carriage was nearly attacked by angry big wolves. On reaching the old crumbling castle, Harker realized that Count Dracula was an elderly, hospitable and well-educated gentleman. Only after a few days, Harker realized that he was effectively a prisoner in the castle. Harker noticed that the Count did not cast any reflection in mirrors, nor did he cast any shadows. The Count was never seen to eat or drink, and there were no other servants in the castle, as the Count had claimed that there was. The more Harker investigated the nature of his imprisonment, the more uneasy he became. One night, he was nearly killed by 3 female seductive vampires, and the Count had saved him, saying to the female vampires that Harker belonged to him. Fearing for his life, Harker escaped the castle by climbing down its walls. Meanwhile, in England, Mina Murray, Harker's fiancée, corresponds with her friend Lucy Westenra. Mina visits Lucy in the seaside town of Whitby. A Russian ship is wrecked near the shore with all its crew missing and its captain dead. The only sign of life aboard is a large black dog which leaped from the ship and bounded into the countryside. There were 50 large boxes containing earth shipped from Castle Dracula. Soon after this, Lucy starts sleepwalking, and one night, Mina finds Lucy in the cemetery with a towering black figure with glowing red eyes bending over her. Soon after this, Lucy falls seriously ill and bears 2 tiny red marks near her neck, for which neither Dr. Seward, her fiancé, nor Mina can account for. Unable to find any suitable explanation, Dr. Seward sends for his old mentor, Professor Abraham Van Helsing. Suffering from brain fever, Harker arrives in the town of Budapest, where Mina rejoins him. Professor Abraham Van Helsing arrives in town, and after his first inspection of Lucy, orders that her room be filled with garlic, a traditional charm against vampires. Soon after this, Lucy began recovering, but her mother, not knowing of the garlic's powers, removed the garlic from her room, leaving Lucy vulnerable to further attack. Lucy falls ill again, and the doctors try their best to revive her, performing 4 blood transfusions, but in vain. One fateful night, the men let down their guard for a moment, and an angry big wolf burst into the Westenra house, giving Lucy's mother a fatal heart attack and killing Lucy. Soon after Lucy's death, Professor Abraham Van Helsing led Homewood, Quincy Morris and Dr. Seward into Lucy's tomb. He explained to the men that Lucy now belongs to the undead. In other words, Lucy has been turned into a vampire just like Dracula. The men remain unconvinced until they see Lucy preying on a defenseless child, which leaves them convinced that she should be destroyed. Van Helsing stepped out, and obedient to his gesture, we all advanced too, the 4 of us ranged in a line before the door of the tomb. Van Helsing raised his lantern and drew the slide. By the concentrated light that fell on Lucy's face, we could see that the lips were crimson with fresh blood, and that the stream had trickled over her chin and stained the purity of her lawn death robe. We shuddered with horror. I could see by the tremulous light that even Van Helsing's iron nerve had failed. Arthur was next to me, and if I had not seized his arm and held him up, he would have fallen. When Lucy, I call the thing that was before us Lucy, because it bore her shape, saw us, she drew back with an angry snarl, such as a cat gives when taken unawares. Then her eyes ranged over us. Lucy's eyes in form and color, but Lucy's eyes unclean and full of hell fire, instead of the pure gentle orbs we knew. At that moment the remnant of my love passed into hate and loathing. Had she then to be killed, I could have done it with savage delight. As she looked, her eyes blazed with unholy light, and the face became wreathed with a voluptuous smile. O God, how it made me shudder to see it! With a careless motion she flung to the ground, callous as a devil, the child that up to now she had clasped strenuously to her breast, growling over it as a dog rolls over a bone. The child gave a sharp cry and lay there moaning. There was a cold-bloodedness in the act which wrung a groan from Arthur. When she advanced to him with outstretched arms and a wanton smile, he fell back and hid his face in his hands. As the body of Lucy Westenra lies undisturbed, they drive a wooden stake through her heart, cut off her head and stuff her mouth with garlic. After this deed was done, they pledged to destroy Dracula themselves. Mina helped Professor Abraham Van Helsing to collect together all the letters, newspaper articles, journals and diary entries to bring together a narrative that would lead them to Count Dracula. They learned all that they could regarding Dracula's characteristics and behavior and traced the boxes of earth which the Count was using as a sanctuary during his nights from the castle. All seemed to be going well until one day, one of Dr. Seward's mental patients, Renfield, led Count Dracula into the asylum where the others were staying, giving the Count a free access to prey upon Mina. As Mina begins the slow change into a vampire, beginning with a telepathic connection with the Count, the others realize that things should be sped up. They charged Dracula to his castle in Transylvania. They sterilized the boxes of earth and they cleansed the castle, killing the 3 female vampires and guarded the entrance with sacred objects. As the Count was about to return to his castle to safety, Quincy and Jonathan kill him with knives. Dracula by Bram Stoker had definitely materialized the age-old European folklores and vampire legends. This book was the first in a series of vampire-centric stories, novels, movies and plays. With the urbanization and evolution of mankind, the characteristics of vampires has also humanized. They have been shown to have painful pasts, loving hearts and civil minds. The vampire species is now considered to be consisted of people, good and bad, kind and cruel, beautiful and monstrous, just like human beings. Over the years, they have been shown to have new characteristics such as mind compulsion, sunlight rings and many more. There have been many successful vampire-centric novels and movies such as Twilight by Stephenie Meyer, The Vampire Diaries by L.J. Smith, Dead Until Dark by Charlene Harris and Salem's Lot by Stephen King. These are the most celebrated and famous novels and movies concerning vampire legends in the 21st century. I sincerely hope that you have liked this analysis of the book Dracula by Bram Stoker. If you have, please do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. I have provided the links of my previous videos in the description below so that you may watch them. I'll be back again with an analysis of yet another book. Till then, enjoy reading.